Okay then, End Grain Elm. Right then, before we get started, I've had a sticker from William Kenny. I had the pleasure of meeting William up at that thing at the carpentry store. Lovely fella. He not only sent me a sticker, he sent me some absolutely gorgeous pen blanks. Celtic knot ones and stuff, gorgeous things. Right, and I'll leave a link below to William's channel, of course. And I've asked William a question and he hasn't got back to me yet, but if he does, I'll mention it later on. So right, let's get on with this. I'll put William's sticker up on the board. Right, I have on here a piece of End Grain Elm. Right, now yet again I've been asked a lot of questions about doing end grain, especially there's one certain one I've been asked quite a few times. Right, it's a nice piece of elm. Right, it had a big crack in it there, but I put red resin in it, and there's a couple of tiny little cracks in it that I'll just handle as we're going. Right, so first thing I'm going to do is level off the rim to give myself clean entries. Now, with end grain, you're not looking for shavings to come off because you're not going to get them. You will get sawdust most of the time. Yeah, that's nice and clean. There's lovely spalting just there on this piece, but it is slightly punky, so I'm probably going to have to soak that in sanding sealer just to get it solid. Alright, we've got that. Start getting a shape into this. Right, now because this is end grain, of course all the cuts are going to be backwards. How's that cutting? That's not cutting too bad. Right, so as normal, I'm just trying to get a shape into it first. Before I start worrying about finish cuts and such. And because of the shape of this blank, I'm kind of going for the granny's pudding bowl look on it. Right, that's kind of close to the shape. There's that crack that I have to sort out. So we'll do something with that first. Some thin CA. Now, sharpen this gouge so I can get a decent cut on it. Right, now we get a finish cut on the outside. is a nice clean cut. I'm trying to avoid using a carbide on this even because it's end grain and because of that in there. I want to curve that bottom a little bit more. As I said, I'm looking for the granny's pudding bowl look here. So bevel cut to get rid of those tool marks. And there we go. Nice clean cuts. Just filled. Right, hang on, stand that. I'm going to be back in a sec, and then we'll get to where I got most of the questions for, which is hollowing. So I'll stand this and I'll be back in a second. Right then, this week's Yorkshire Grit Bit. But first, I just noticed something. I must apologise for underneath the lathe looking like a unicorn vomited down there. I have a big show coming up, and I'm still catching up making stock because I was out for so long, and I was doing HDPE pens this morning, and I haven't had a chance to clean up, and hence all the colours down below down there. And for anybody who wants to know how to do HDPE pens, I'll leave a link up there and a link below to a video of me doing them. Right. Right, so we get on with this. Right, we're going to stick with the 2-a-day Tennon. Right, and we'll continue on from when they arrived on Ireland shores. Right, now when the 2-a-day Tennon first arrived on Irish shores, the Fair Bullock were the rulers at the time. Now, Fair Bullock translates into men of bags, which comes from a Greek legend rather than a direct translation. If you did a direct translation, it would actually be the stomach or tummy men, right? But it comes from, as I said, it comes from a Greek legend where the Greeks had this race as slaves, but they basically were afraid of them, so they made them carry around bags of rock and clay and dirt, basically, to slow them down, which is where the name comes from. Right, now the march on 2-a-day Tennon, when they arrived on the shores, on 2-a-day Tennon basically went walking. Right, so they marched into the country, and this march surprised on Fair Bullock, and it resulted in the Fair Bullock basically not being ready for them. Now, there was a massive battle between the two of them, and halfway through it they stopped to have a hurling match. This is in the legend. They stopped the battle to have a hurling match. Right, now I'm not going to go into this battle because the description of it is huge. Right, but what I will do is I'll leave a link below to where you can read about this battle and this hurling match that they stopped the battle for. Right, boat races fought over the rule of Ireland, and legend has it that the first battle took place near the shores of Loch Corrib on the plain of Murty. That's the battle I'm leaving a link down below to, right? Eventually, the victory was on the side of 2-a-day Tennon, and they won the battle and took over Ireland. Now, the king of the Fair Bullock died, and they had to choose another leader. Eventually, the choice fell on Shrang, and he was the new leader of the Fair Bullock. Now, Shrang wasn't a very good leader. He wasn't a very nice person, basically, but he had got common sense. Right? Now, the Tuatha Danann did not come away unscathed from this battle either. Nuada the king lost his arm to a mighty swing of a Fair Bullock axe. Now, according to the rules, the king of Tuatha Danann had to be of perfect stature. Basically, he had to be perfect, right? And the loss of an arm meant Nuada had to step down as king. And according to the legend, for the next 7 years, Breas served as king until Nuada was once again made king. And I'll get into that in a second, right? But the thing was, Shrang and Breas were both very smart people, right? So what they did to end the war was they basically sat down and had peace talks. It was decided at these peace talks that the Fair Bullock, there was no way that they were going to beat Tuatha Danann. So it was decided that Tuatha Danann could have the entire country except for Connacht, which was given to the Fair Bullock to live in, on the condition that they never again rose up, which is what happened. Now, back to Nuada. Now, as I said, Nuada couldn't be king because he was no longer perfect, because he was missing an arm. But an Irish silversmith, and the man's name escapes me at the moment, but it is written down somewhere, made him a silver arm out of absolute pure silver, right? And it was all fancy, and that's why it took 7 years, because it had to be perfect, right? And Nuada's magic made it work, right? So when this was seen, and as I said, what's his name again? Oh, hang on a minute, I forgot that man's name. Breas was not too popular. So as soon as Nuada could become king again and was whole again, he became the king of Tuatha Danann again, right? But after that, he was known as Nuada of the Silver Hand, right? Now, back to the battle. As I said, there was a lot of injuries and stuff, and the battle was solved by the two new leaders talking and deciding what would happen. Now, as I said, the actual battle itself, I would love to tell the story of it, but it's huge, and there's a load of little pieces and nuances in it that if you leave out, it kind of doesn't make sense, especially this hurling match. So, as I said, what I'll do is I'll leave a link down below to a description of it, and if you want to read about it, you can go there. So that's basically that's basically what happened after Tuatha Danann hit the shores of Ireland. So I'll keep going on with this, and I'll be back in a sec. Right then, just buffing the wax off. Going to do pretty nice. Right, William has been back on to me. Right, with the answer to the question I asked him. As I said, William sent me some gorgeous blanks, including some Celtic knot ones. I'll put a picture of a couple of the pens I did from him up here now. And William basically he doesn't really make them himself. But if someone in Ireland wants one, or wants some Celtic knot blanks, he'll sort you out, as he says. And you could probably contact him through his channel. Right, so that was just that bit. There's the outside of it. And they're quite nice. That spalted section's nice, and that red stripe actually sets it off. Right, now we'll get to hollowing this, and I can answer the questions I was asked. So I'll set up for that and I'll be back in a sec. Right then, I'll do what I normally do and define the bowl first. Find the width. Right, now, the questions I was asked, and this is one that actually sometimes probably turns people off doing end grain. Should you not be back hollowing on anything that's end grain? Right, I back hollow stuff that is small. Like if I'm doing a box, an end grain box, I will back hollow it. Right, a bowl, you don't need to. Like you can back hollow, which is that. Right, you can hollow it out that way, or you can hollow it as normal. Right. Which is my preference. I much prefer doing bowls the standard way. I'm slightly too low there, just when I'm coming off. Have to recut that edge because it's no longer any good. As I said, I much prefer to standard hollow. Right. You don't have to back hollow an end grain bowl. And if you're careful, you can still get nice cuts. Now that question's answered, I'll just keep going on hollowing this. Now what I am going to do when I finish this is I'm going to do a negative ray scrape coming out. As I keep saying, your finish cut is the important one. Up to that, all you're doing is getting wood out of the way. Alright, I'm just going to sharpen this before I get into that resin at the bottom. Right, I just have to move this macro camera because it's in my way. I can't see what I'm doing. Right then. It's hollowed nicely. Now we'll negative right scrape it. Just check them smack on the middle with the cutting edge. Yeah, right. There we go. Right, and then I will sand it and finish that, and I'll be back in a sec. Right then, just buffing the wax off. Turned out pretty nice, actually. That turned out pretty nice in there. I do love doing end grain balls because you get stuff like this in it. And they're very nice, and I do like doing them. Right, I just have to flip this over, do the base, and I'll give you a better look at it. So I'll be back in a sec. Right, with this bowl, what I want to do is I not only want to take the tenon off, but I also want to leave some of that little kick in it. So we get rid of the tenon first. Yeah, slight bit of that kick left in it, which is what I wanted. Get in there with a spindle gouge, get rid of the rest of that, or more of it anyway. Right, yeah, that bit's left there, it'll just snap off and sand that, and I'll give you a better look at it. So I'll be back in a sec. Right, now we have a nice little end grain elm bowl. So I hope that's cleared up that question of, do you have to back hollow on end grain? No, you don't. As I said, a few people comment on some of these end grains they've done that they were afraid to do it because they don't know how to back hollow, or they don't like back hollowing. You do not have to back hollow on an end grain bowl. You can cut them as normal and it works out just fine. As I said, if I was doing something smaller, I would back hollow. Like if I was doing a box or something like that, definitely I'd back hollow. It's just easier. You can do large bowls back hollowing, but you don't have to. And if you are doing one of these granny's pudding type bowls, make sure to leave that little kink in the bottom there, because it does actually make a difference. It lifts the whole bowl. So if you enjoyed that one or got anything out of it, if you wouldn't mind clicking like on the video, and I'll see you in the next one.